Didier Deschamps will be hoping his side can make history. No team has ever come back from a 2-goal deficit in a playoff like this. Slovenia did it ahead of the 2010 World Cup. They lost the first leg to Russia 2-1 for triumphing 1-0 at home to go through to South Africa on away goals. France will earn themselves a little bit of playoff history. The fans are confident. The players certainly were confident before the first leg. Certainly put in their place though by that display from the home side. The man in charge this evening, Damir Skomina of Slovenia, the 37-year-old, perhaps a good omen for France then. We're underway at the Stade de France. The home side in all blue, kicking from left to right in this first half. Ribéry just helps it on. Sakho's header. Brought down by Cabaye. He'll look to be a calming influence in front of the French back four. Didn't work with Paul Pogba and Blaise Matuidi as the two in front of the back four in Kiev. Both of them like to push forward far too much to sit in that defensive role. Well, Valbuena's never going to win a header against Khacharidi. He's nearly 2 meters tall. And there's a slip there by Ševčuk. Here's Benzema. Pogba. Ukraine scramble it away, but good early pressure from the French here. Got the crowd on side as Debuchy goes down on the edge of the box. The crowd wanted a free kick. And still no free kick given by Mr. Skomina. Play continues. Sakho scurries forward in that familiar style of his. Here's Cabaye. Debuchy. Halted by Konoplyanka. It'll be mostly Debuchy doing the halting of Konoplyanka this evening. The two wide men for Russia. Konoplyanka of Dnipropetrovsk, and on the far side, Andrei Yarmolenko scored the second goal in the first leg from the penalty spot. They are the crucial men in this Ukraine side, as well as the lone forward, Roman Zazulya. Another Dnipro player. In fact, 4 Dnipro players in this starting 11, including the captain, Ruslan Rotan. Another wayward ball, and not the best header away now as Ribéry picks it up now. Going to take on Rakitsky and gets the ball across. And the long legs of Khacharidi put it behind for a corner. Valbuena's ball in, Evra's header. Benzema on the far side. And right across the face of goal, Valbuena. France throwing everything at Ukraine in these opening minutes. Another corner. Valbuena with it. Pogba trying to get in there, but there's a foul, says the referee. Meets with general disapproval from the French fans, as you might expect. But this is exactly the sort of start that Didier Deschamps would have been hoping for, and undoubtedly the sort of start that Ukraine coach Mikhail Fomenko would have expected. Look, it's a decent save by Pyotov. Valbuena's effort from a wide angle. Yarmolenko trying to hold off Evra, couldn't quite do it. Couldn't take the ball at the same time. Lloris to Varane. He's had a right knee problem, as Raphael Varane, in the build-up to this game, kept him out of the first leg. Just 20 years old, but shows such maturity. Hard to believe he's so young. A little bit like Pogba as well. Run back by Cabaye after giving it away. Here's Valbuena. Benzema wants it to feed. Instead it goes to Pogba. Cabaye now. Valbuena. No foul, says Mr. Skomina. Konoplyanka can use his pace, and he has plenty of it too. Zazulya's in the middle. Yarmolenko's arriving. Good recovery from Cabaye. That's what he's in the side for this evening. He'll have to get through a lot of running, the Newcastle United midfielder. Ribéry with a little bit of space, which is something he didn't get in the first leg, and he's tripped by Yarmolenko. I think Ribéry wants a little more than just the free kick. I think he might get it as well, but I don't think it's going to be a card for Yarmolenko. It's going to be just a talking to. Or is it indeed? Great talent, Andrei Yarmolenko, just 24 years old. Already this is his 38th cap this evening. Tucked away the penalty in Kiev very calmly indeed. It's the cry of Allez les Bleus, come on les Bleus. Rings around the Stade de France. The fans are doing their bit. Can the team? Good ball in by Valbuena. And straight through to the sure hands of Pyatov. Shakhtar Donetsk goalkeeper who set a record for Ukraine at international level, having not conceded in some 736 minutes now. They really did start poorly, the qualification process did Ukraine under Oleg Blokhin, but he then went off to manage Dynamo Kiev. Andrei Bal took over, got a draw and a defeat in his 2 games in charge before Fomenko, a former international teammate, in fact, of Blokhin, took over. Unbeaten in 10 games coming into this one, Ukraine, and a tremendous away record as well. Won their last 4, including very impressive wins in Montenegro and Poland during the qualifying process. They've got a free kick here. Kasharidi, unsurprisingly, comes up from the back. Zazulya's there as well. Not a good delivery. Away by Cabaye on the edge of the France box, and Ribéry looking to try and counter, and he was wrestled to the ground. There is going to be a booking here for Ruslan Rotan. Ribéry fouled by Alexander Kucher late in the first leg. Kucher sent off for a second bookable offence. He was absolutely furious with his teammates for allowing Ribéry to be able to burst through on goal. Kucher felt he had no choice but to bring the Bayern Munich man down and get the red card, which has seen him suspended this evening. He is here in Paris to watch the game, along with Artem Fedetsky, who's also suspended. Here's Ribéry. Benzema took that nicely on his chest. And rather wasted his good work. Varane. Ukraine having a problem getting out of their own half at the moment. Debuchy into the feet of Pogba. Quickly closed down, but he's going to get a corner. Third of the game already for France, and we're only barely 8 minutes in. Header. He knows that was a great chance. Couldn't keep it down, the Juventus midfielder. Certainly not his forte, but for a player of his class, that is a clear-cut opportunity. Debuchy with the header. Picked up by Pogba. Here's Valbuena. Brought down, says Mr. Scamina. Really was a huge surprise that Valbuena be left out of the starting lineup in the first leg. 5 assists in France's last 10 goals for the Olympique de Marseille midfielder. Left out in favour of Samir Nasri, but it's Valbuena's got the nod ahead of the Manchester City midfielder this evening. And Valbuena will take this free kick. cluster of players guarding the edge of the penalty box. And a deep ball, good header. Benzema this time. Ukraine looking a little vulnerable at high balls. France do have good delivery generally at set pieces. But 10 minutes in, it's still France 0, Ukraine 0. There's a body check surely by Rakitsky. Generally plays right back, does the Shakhtar Donetsk man, but did play centre back against England at Euro 2012. He's in this evening in place of his Shakhtar teammate Kuchet. That's his free kick. It's not long towards Zazoulia. It's a foul by the Dnipro man. Real thorn in the side of France in the first leg, Zazoulia. Came through the Dynamo Kiev youth system. No less than 6 Dynamo Kiev, or current Dynamo Kiev players in this squad. 5 from Shakhtar. But as I said before, it's Dnipro who have the most players on the pitch for the moment. Here's Sacco of Liverpool, settling in nicely in the English Premier League as well. Valbuena trying to feed it through into the run of Evra. Tweedy, all caught in possession. He's unlucky there, Roman Bezus. One of the men brought into the starting lineup by Mikhail Fomenko for this evening's game. Dynamo Kiev striker. Ukraine coach clearly deciding that attack, the best form of defence. Certainly will help to give France some food for thought at the back, and not allow them to just push forward in all-out attack. Here's Sacco coming forward. Evra just flicks it forward. Kasharili with the header away. Ribéry now. Again surrounded by 2 men, but Evra picks it up. It's deflected. And Piatov can stop it from going out for a corner. That really high-tempo start, France have, perhaps not surprisingly, just dropped off the pace a little bit. Oh, that's nearly very nicely done by Benzema. Difficult ball to take, but France have it again. Kabay is picking up a lot of the loose balls in midfield. Here's Ribéry, chance to run at the Ukraine defence. And still. And now Yarmolenko can stride away. Good challenge by Kabay. Loved as much in England for his skill as his commitment. That was what was on show there. Still a favourite with the France fans, despite trying to force a move to Arsenal during the summer. Here's Varane, unlikely Real Madrid will let him go anywhere soon. Pogba. There's talk that perhaps Pogba could move on from Juventus. Interesting to see Patrick Vieira say in L'Equipe, France's sports newspaper this morning, that it was a mistake by Manchester City not to sign Pogba when he left Manchester United. Oh, that's risky from Varane. It's been cut out by Zazoulia. France escape. Benzema's ball. Trying to feed it back into the path of Valbuena. Certainly greater urgency about France. But then again, you have to say, if they didn't show greater urgency this evening, then when would they show it? It's Edmar who's down, the Brazilian-born Metalist Kharkiv player. Ball back to Pyatov. Almost a quarter of an hour gone in the Stade de France. France 0, Ukraine 0. For the moment, Ukraine sitting comfortably en route to Rio. Zazoulia's gone down with a facial injury, as you can see. Buffeted by the powerfully built Mamadou Sakho. Just the right sort of build for the English Premier League, the former Paris Saint-Germain man. As we see the Ukrainian coach on the right-hand side, Mikhail Fomenko, former Dynamo Kiev defender. Once more, Kasharidi trundles up from the back. It's Rotan, the captain, with the free kick. Easy for Lloris. Quick distribution from the French captain, a little bit too hasty, actually. But Matuidi will pick it up and find Ribéry. Ukraine working back very effectively. Don't really have the star names of Ukraine sides of the past. One of them is on the bench, though. Anatoly Timoshuk, former captain, has been supplanted by Rotan. Struggling for time on the pitch at Zenit St. Petersburg currently, Timoshuk. He is his country's most capped player. May see him at some stage. Ukraine still need to hold on to this result to go through. Just help settle everybody down. Still early days here, though. Kepai, that's a very good ball. Here's Ribéry. A good challenge by Yarmolenko. Fans wanted a penalty, French ones at least, but never going to be given. And here comes Bezus. Ukraine coming forward in numbers here. Yarmolenko now. One-on-one with Evra. And he's gone past the Manchester United man. His ball in. Lloris came for it. Here's Rotan. I think that's going to be a Ukrainian corner. Great work by Konoplyanka. Yarmolenko went round Evra rather too easily. Didn't have the best of games in the first leg, Patrice Evra. He's going to get another chance to deliver a better set piece than that. Wasn't a great effort from Rotan, the captain. This one's a bit better. That's another corner. Zazoulia did win the header at the near post, but ricocheted off Debussy and behind. Deeper this time from Rotan. And away by Pogba, far post. And Ukraine, having weathered that early French storm, beginning to settle into the match now. Towards Zazoulia. Important interception from Sakho. Good distribution to Benzema now. Ukraine never giving France a moment to settle on the ball. It's exactly as it was in the first leg. And here they come now with Savchuk. It's a throw. The 34-year-old who's in his second spell at Shakhtar. Kasharidi. Konoplyanka. Off the head of Debuchy. It's Varane's header. Sacco, not a great header towards Bezus, who's trying to burst through. Does well to find Rotan. Edmar looking for Yarmolenko, who can't quite keep it in. Not held by the pitch there, Edmar, with that first-time pass. You may see it's rather patchy, a little bit bobbly. That's because France played New Zealand in rugby union here some 10 days ago. Ground staff have been working hard, but completely antagonistic the needs of football and rugby in terms of the pitch. Tweedy looking for options, can only find Cabaye. Varane now has Debuchy outside him. French centre-backs going quite far forward. They got a free kick here, somewhat fortuitously. And once more, the noise levels just up a couple of notches from the French fans. Rather a significant pocket of Ukrainian fans high up on the far side. They'll struggle to make themselves heard this evening, at least for the moment. Valbuena's ball in, it's another good one. Run away! Oh, great save, Pyatov, the follow-up, it's in! It's Mamadou Sakho has thrown France a lifeline. It's unlucky on Pyatov. It was a great save in there from the Ukraine goalkeeper. Wasn't helped out by his defenders here. Not the best attempt at clearing. I think it was Kasharidi. But Sakho on hand when the ball was spilled by Pyatov. What a time to score your first international goal. Mamadou Sakho, 22 minutes in, has given France the ideal start. It's 2-1 in aggregate now. Ukraine still with the upper hand, though. Just when they were beginning to settle into the game as well. That makes things very interesting indeed. Ukraine just need to keep their poise right now. Nicely done by Debuchy. Here's Sakho. Valbuena. So his free kick that led to the goal. Valbuena still. Ribéry now. Plenty of yellow shirts back. Ribéry behind for a corner. Just listen to that noise now. The fans firmly believe their side can do this. Still plenty of work to do. Valbuena's ball in. It's not away again by Ukraine. And not for the first time have looked vulnerable at set pieces. Here's Cabaye. But this time Pyatov fields safely. I have to say, no real blame on the Shakhtar goalkeeper. It was a great save. And a strike that came in from the edge of the box. Came through a crowd as well. Very difficult even to make the save, never mind to hold on to the ball. by Pogba. Saka, the goal scorer. Varane. It's a good ball forward to Benzema. A nice little touch for Valbuena. Oh, good interception for Konoplyanka. It's dropped for Pogba. And again, the youngster can't keep it down. At first, it was with a header. Now with a shot. It's a great save from Ribéry's strike. It was a clean hit from the Bayern Munich man from the edge of the box. Look at that. Superstar from Piatov, but the blue shirt of Saka, quickest to react. And here's Yarmolenko. Ukraine will be relying on him and his ilk to try and hold on to the ball. They haven't been able to do it there. You need to just draw the sting once again of France. Here's Evra. Valbuena. Always seems to make things happen, Mathieu Valbuena. Always busy and positive on the ball. Perhaps stems from the fact that his small stature meant he was rejected by Bordeaux as a youngster. And he was even rejected by Didier Deschamps when Deschamps took over at Marseille. Only to then prove Deschamps wrong. And how. Here's Debuchy. Varane, blocked by Konoplyanka. Rather, it was Edmar, excuse me, with the block. But France encamped now in Ukraine half. This is the 9th meeting between these two nations. France with just a slight edge after that first leg loss. 4 wins to Ukraine's 3. And the foul goes against Matuidi. A lot of people watching the situation with Blaise Matuidi at Paris Saint-Germain. His contract still not being extended. That's a good ball forward to Bezus, who turns inside. Turned nicely inside Varane and gets a corner. It's a huge divot, though, out of the pitch. Certainly didn't help Bezus. He tried to check back inside. A well brought up individual, replacing the divot. Many a golf member would appreciate that. Oh, that was needless from Ribéry. Barging over Edmar. Did tend to get a little bit frustrated in the first leg, the Bayern Munich man. If France qualify for the World Cup, would certainly help Ribéry's claim on this year's Ballon d'Or. A 3-man shortlist to be announced in early December for that. Ribéry, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the usual suspects, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Pick any 3 from those 4 if you like. Here's Varane. Cabaye. Saka now. That's a good ball to Matuidi. Well stopped by Edmar, who's been very useful with a creative and destructive sense for Ukraine this evening. That's well won back by Pogba. Ribéry. Good ball in! He's offside. He's offside, Karim Benzema. Flag went up very, very quickly on this near side. The lack of complaint from the Real Madrid striker suggests he knew he was as well. Definitely expected the ball to come through to him. He's not offside though, is he? Lucky escape for Ukraine then. They still have the edge with half an hour gone here. Certainly the edge in terms of aggregate score, but they trail 1-0. Mamadou Sakho's 22nd minute strike has given France hope and set nerves a-jangling if you're a Ukraine fan. And slightly nervous at the back too, the visitors. Kasharidi with a hurried clearance. It's Ribéry. Evra gets the better of Yarmolenko this time. Good battling from Evra. Here's Ribéry. Pogba. Ribéry. Valbuena with space. Oh, good stop. Great stop from Piatov. I think Valbuena thought that was heading into the top corner. Going to be Valbuena with the corner. Towards Pogba. And again, the youngster gets above his marker. Lovely play from France. Great strike from Valbuena, and almost seemed to be past Piatov before he just stuck out that right arm and palmed it over. I've long thought he was one of Europe's most underrated goalkeepers, Andrei Piatov. Certainly showing his talent this evening. It's going to be a Ukraine free kick. Shevchuk's ball in. It's header away by Varane. Punted clear by Debuchy. Kasharidi doesn't know where it's gone. There's a foul by Edmar. Blatant pushing the back on Valbuena. Sakho, who's known as Killer, he says, by the Liverpool coach Brendan Rodgers. Still struggling to come to terms with driving on the left-hand side of the road, though, Mamadou Sakho. Had to employ a chauffeur to ferry him around. Doesn't need too much help to move around the pitch this evening, though. Oh, that's fallen nicely for Valbuena. Here's Debuchy. Towards Benzema. Is that a foul? Snap back to Cabaye. Benzema! And the flag's down this time. And France are level on aggregate. They lead 2-0. There was a huge amount of luck in that goal. But Didier Deschamps will argue, justifiably, that you need luck as well as talent. They certainly had the rub of the green there. But there was good persistence too. Oh, he's well offside this time. Although perhaps things evening themselves out. He wasn't offside when he scored before, and he was given offside this time. The flag stayed down. It shouldn't have. There'll be much debate about that in Paris, and undoubtedly much more in Kiev later this evening. But all that matters now is that France lead 2-0. The problems of the first leg already wiped out. But for the moment, we're dead level on aggregate. And remember, it just takes Ukraine to score a single goal, and you have to say you fancy them to do that. They do have that great attacking potential. Scored more than They scored 28 goals in their 10 qualifiers. Only 4 teams scored more, in fact. And if Ukraine were to get a goal, then France need another 2. But for the moment, it's beautifully poised. Here's Pogba. France in the ascendancy. And it's given away towards Benzema, and Piatov comes. Just tells his teammates to calm down. They need to try and at least establish some sort of equilibrium here to Ukraine. Foul by Varane. Rather needless one too. Just got a shot of Laurent Koscielny, the Arsenal defender, who's suspended this evening following that first leg red card. First Frenchman to be sent off since Eric Abidal back at Euro 2008. And now danger here for France and promise for Ukraine. It's going to be Rakitsky to take it and goes for goal. And merely strikes the camera behind Hugo Lloris's goal. Persistence and luck brought about that second France goal. But some 8 minutes to go until the break. France lead 2 goals to 0. And the Marseillaise rings round the Stade de France. But Ukraine still have their chance of going to Brazil. They just need a goal to make life very difficult again for France. Here's Kepai. Debuchy. Benzema. Debuchy's ball in, it's away by Kashirin. Kepai picks it up. Benzema looking for the run of Evra. Benzema again. Matuidi given away carelessly by Edmond. There's a Ukraine player down, and the French players even not happy that play's been stopped. I think it's Sevchuk. It's Roman Bezus, in fact, who collided with Cabaye. Benzema, who went more than a year without scoring for France before he struck in the 6-0 friendly win over Australia last month. Scored against Finland as well in the final qualifier here, 3-0 victory. Of course, missed out in Kiev, but he struck again this evening. There's Cabaye. Cabaye again, always very close to finding his Newcastle United teammate Mathieu Debuchy there. Saka wrong-footing Yarmolenko gets a huge round of applause. Matuidi. Evra. Matuidi again. Riveri beats 2 men. Couldn't quite find Benzema. Bezus, that's a good ball. Very good ball indeed. Konoplyanka as Debussy pursuing him. Konoplyanka's ball is poor. Here come France. Pogba. Benzema needs support. Finds it in the shape of Ribéry. Matuidi's outside him. No foul, says Mr. Scamina. Rather frenetic as we approach half-time. Here's Valbuena. Oh, that's beautiful play. Oh, he's unlucky. Took that so nicely. Just lost his footing. Kitsky's ball forward finds only Varane. He finds only Bezus, who in turn gives away possession. A little bit untidy now from both sides. Haven't seen too much of Yarmolenko on that far side in this first half. We're not going to there either. Poor ball by Mandzukic. Mentioned before, Blaise Matuidi is out of contract actually at Paris Saint-Germain in the summer. There is something of a problem though. He's been taken to court by his former agent, Jean-Pierre Bernès. For the moment, that contract extension on hold, and that's alerted a number of clubs like Chelsea and Manchester City. Here comes Ribéry from Bayern Munich. He stopped out on the edge of the Ukraine box. That's poor ball by Yarmolenko. Bezus into all sorts of trouble. A lot of speculation about Didier Deschamps' future as well, particularly if things go pear-shaped here tonight. At the moment, though, it's rather rosy. Still not job done, though. Benzema. Pogba back to Benzema. Matuidi was streaking through the middle. If Benzema could have found him, Ukraine were in trouble. I have to say, though, this is a much better display from France. Must have been the sort of performance that Mikhail Fomenko, the Ukraine coach, was fearing. They do undoubtedly have the greater individual quality, France, so if they can put in the same commitment as Ukraine, then logically they should win. They've got a free kick here. Just a couple of minutes left in the first half. Once more it'll be Valbuena. First, Mr. Scamina wants to restore law and order on the edge of the box, and Mamadou Sakho not too happy with Ruslan Rotan. Sakho just needs to keep his cool. We're going to see a card here. I think it's just going to be a yellow. To calm both Khachridi and Sakho down. Join Rotan in the book. And Valbuena's free kick finally. It's off the head of Edmar, not away. Matuidi. Excuse me, Pogba on that far side. That was Matuidi. Just a minute to be added on here at the end of the first half. A little bit of space for Rotan. Konoplyanka. Sevchuk outside him. Here is the veteran fullback. Decent ball in. And away by Sako. And as much relief in the cheer from the French fans as for the spectacular overhead clearance from the Liverpool defender. Here come Ukraine again, though. Yarmolenko. Bezus. And Debuchy taking no chances. He knew Konoplyanka was behind him. It's going to be a corner. Nervous. 10 seconds left in the first half. The Ukraine goal here will change the balance of everything. Not a great corner from Konoplyanka, but he's going to get another one. Thought that came off Edmar, actually. Mr. Skamina thought otherwise. That's better. Right across the far side, Yarmolenko. Oh, was stopped by Debuchy almost on the line. And that's the last action of the first half. It had beaten Lloris. Varane may well have blocked it as well. It struck Debuchy, and Lloris pouncing gratefully. And it was a case of sink or swim for France at kick-off. They've certainly swapped. Things going swimmingly at the Stade de France. The Didier Deschamps men, they lead 2-0 at half-time. All level, though, on aggregate with Ukraine.
This is Thursday FC. A big show tonight. Stunning strike. You're quite superstitious.
That's one of my superstitions, I won't tell you. So.
Michael Zullo and Fabio Ferreira. Yeah! What's the go, mate? Have you done any modelling?
It's just getting too hot in here, guys.
It's football and a whole lot more. It's a sweet deal.
It's a sweet deal.
Don't try this at home.
Get the Tab app and get an account opened in seconds. Get all your favourite racing and sports events. Get the latest prices and scratchings. Get expert tips and bet all from the one screen. Get market movers and tote fluctuations. Get Skyform for every runner on every race. Get an easy-to-read bet slip. Get Sky Racing Vision while betting. Get multi-leg approximates. Get results. Get the very best account functionality. And you can get it all now on your favourite device.
Here we have Judy. She's a cryptic crossword whiz and the proud mother of Damien, who she can't resist spoiling. She still makes him his favourite ginger biscuits, even though he's 36 now. Judy loves doing something sweet for her son. That's also why she's taken out funeral insurance with Insurance Line. Insurance Line's new funeral insurance has premiums that are guaranteed never to go up. That means your premiums will stay the same for the life of your policy and not go up every year as you get older. Level premiums make your cover more affordable, saving you up to 25% over the life of your policy. Plus, the sooner you set it up, the lower your premiums will stay. And your loved ones will have the money fast, generally within 24 hours of Insurance Line receiving a complete claim. If you're an Australian resident, you're guaranteed acceptance up to age 80, with cover for accidental death only for the first 12 months. So call Insurance Line on 13 66 76 and get new funeral insurance today.
Worried about hair loss? Are you losing more than just your hair, like your confidence and self-esteem? It's time to fight back in your battle against hair loss with Limo. Limo is the only hair regrowth system that combines scientifically formulated treatments and a handheld medical laser to help prevent hair loss and produce thicker, stronger hair. And now you can try the amazing Limo hair regrowth system through our incredible in-home trial offer for 30 days for just $1 shipping. Call the number on your screen now or visit online for this amazing Limo offer.
Welcome back to the World Game. We're at the Stade de France in Paris. Half-time in the World Cup playoff between France and Ukraine. 2-0 to the home side, 2-2 on aggregate. What a first half of football. Joko Kalatz and Ned Zelic have watched a lot of drama from the Stade de France. And how about that one?
Wow. The A-list Le Bleu turned up this morning.
They did, with the intensity and the desire. And that's the thing that was lacking in the first leg, Ned. And the quality's been there as well.
The quality has been there. It took a bit to get into the game, but what they really did well is they had men occupying areas up front. So really, what they were doing with that is putting pressure on Ukraine as well. Once they lost possession, Ukraine is a counter-attacking team, and many times they couldn't do anything at all with that first ball after regaining possession. And second ball latest, it was gone. So really, you had the French constantly putting them under pressure. And it took, I think, Ukraine about 15 minutes to piece one counter-attack together, which isn't enough, clearly, against the French team who really was building in confidence right throughout that first half. And, I mean, you know, Pogba in central midfield has been absolutely... It's a mammoth performance from him. I mean, defensively and going forward as well. But what was vital for them is clearly they went into this game with a lot of pressure on them. But, you know, that first goal just released them, really.
And we mentioned Ribéry and Benzema pre-match. It was the shot from Ribéry that resulted in the first goal. That's the first ever goal in Le Bleu Colours for Mamadou Sakho. So a pivotal moment for him and the country.
Oh, look, that was the goal that broke the ice, so to say. It was all France. First 15 minutes, it was relentless. Ukraine, how they held out for the first 10 minutes with the amount of opportunities France had. But once the first goal went in, you could see the French players were actually, they were actually enjoying themselves. They were actually enjoying suffocating Ukraine and just totally dominating the match. It's been unbelievable. I can't remember the last performance I've seen from a French team with this much hunger, this much desire to play for each other and fight to get a result.
And that was Pogba, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how about this? Is this football karma playing out in the first half? Yeah.
Well, you know, we thought so, really, didn't we?
Clearly onside there.
Clearly onside.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly onside. And the second goal, you know, was offside. So it's a very, very lucky linesman there. I don't know, where's he from? Slovenia, is that right? Yeah. Because the suggestion would have been, you know, if that second goal doesn't go in, or if France end up losing this game, to pretty much just stay where you are for a few days, you know.
Or maybe look back at his lineage to see if he goes back to the Ukrainian league.
You know, it's 2-0 and deservedly so. But it's still hugely interesting to see if the French can continue this. It's a balancing act for them, really, isn't it? You know, to combine defence and attack. Ukraine piece one counter together, and all of a sudden the French need 2 goals. So, but you could see it's a team yeah, there it is.
Sharp finish by Benzema.
Clearly offside, but justified, like we said, because the first decision was an error. I mean, how he can't see that?
How do you make those
someone
mistakes?
has told him, or someone has told him, you've made an error and you've got to rectify this. I mean, how else can you explain that?
on a match of this magnitude, you know, Ukraine can feel hard done by. Yeah, the first one was onside and the second one was offside, but geez, to get 2 calls like that wrong in a match this important, I don't know, I don't get it.
But it's what it should be. It's 2-0. So
yeah. Well, it should be more.
The second half.
It should be more.
We move into the second half, but it's amazing how dangerous the French have been from set pieces as well, and how many problems the Ukrainians have had dealing with that. I mean, clearly they knew as well coming here. The French are going to put pressure on them. There's going to be situations as well where they'll be getting free kicks, and they've been really poor dealing with set pieces. But their major problem is the fact that, and it's what we spoke about, they're just too deep. They're way too deep. In that first 15 minutes, there were situations where the French were passing the ball back and they were moving up as well, which you should do. But many times they just completely forgot about it and just sat way too deep.
And there's plenty of other drama around Europe. We'll have the scores in just a few minutes' time, but a reminder that Thursday FC returns at 8:30 this week with a big preview of round 7 of the A-League. Special guests and a whole lot more. Join Zrilla, Matt and Lucy in the studio. You can do that by heading to the website for more details. Time now for a short break, and then we head back to Paris for the second half between France and Ukraine. See you soon.
Yeah, we're excited too. Free A-League this Friday night, live on SBS2.
Back in the day, a bottle of milk cost around 20 cents. You could get a loaf of bread for 25 cents, and a cup of coffee cost even less than that. And there was no such thing as a soy latte. You know, prices just keep on going up, and that can be hard on your budget, especially when you retire. But there is one thing you can count on, and that's the price of your new funeral insurance with Insurance Line, because they have premiums that are guaranteed never to go up. That means your premiums will stay the same for the life of your policy and not go up every year as you get older. So you'll have more money for great stuff like spoiling the grandkids or treating yourself. And you know you're in safe hands with Insurance Line because they're Australia's #1 choice for direct life insurance. Great Australians deserve great funeral insurance. So call Insurance Line on 13 88 10 today. That's 13 88 10 now.
Traditionally, the perfect balance of Asian flavours was best achieved by starting from scratch. Now there's 5 Tastes, a range of authentic meal kits, sauces and pastes. Five Tastes, in supermarkets now.
Have you discovered the power of superfoods? BioGlan have introduced 4 of the purest superfoods so you can add them to your diet every day.
Just add BioGlan acai and berries to your yogurt or smoothie every morning. It combines the power of antioxidant-rich superberries, acai, goji, blueberry and pomegranate for our energy, immunity and weight.
The pure goodness of BioGlan superfoods is so easy to enjoy. They're really healthy and taste great. BioGlan superfoods.
Bringing you news and information in your language from all the places that matter to you. Feel at home with SBS Radio.
Two-0 down from the first leg. It opened up with Mamadou Sakho's first goal in French colours. And we saw Benzema flag offside for an earlier chance when he was onside. He was offside there, but scored to make it 2-0, 2-2 on aggregate between France and Ukraine. Very exciting first half. Let's have a look at the other results around Europe, and plenty of excitement also. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored. That's the second result there. But 2-0 on aggregate over Portugal early in the second half. That one, Croatia comfortable 2-0 leaders over Iceland, with Mario Mandzukic sent off after scoring the opening goal, and also Dario Cerna on the score sheet. So Croatia looking to go through. France 2, Ukraine 0, 2-2 on aggregate, all set for a good second half, and Greece get through to their third World Cup. 1-1 on aggregate, 4-2 there overall. So 1-1 this morning. And I can tell you also that Algeria have qualified over Burkina Faso, 3-3 on aggregate. But they won on the night, with also Ghana going through against Egypt in Africa. So plenty of drama as we get down to the last qualifiers for the World Cup. But how do you see this one going? We didn't mention the state of the pitch at the Stade de France. Recent international in rugby union has made it a little bit fluky. Do you think that could possibly play a part in the second half?
I think the thing that's going to be the key is whether Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde France turn up. Yep. That's the key. They were fantastic in the first half, but we do know that when they do get overconfident or cocky, they start doing all sorts of mischief on the park. I think this game's too serious. I think if France comes out and plays the same aggressive pressing type of game, they'll close this game off in the second half.
Do you see any different approach from Ukraine to perhaps put a little bit more pressure on France in the second half?
Well, they have to rectify their problems once they regain possession, to launch counter-attacks, because that's pretty much their only hope at the moment. France are putting a lot of players forward and putting them under a lot of pressure, and they really have to force the issue now, France. They can't, come into this second half and think, OK, we've got our two. We can, be patient now. They have to force the issue, because Ukraine right at this moment are extremely vulnerable, and continue to basically, and it is physically demanding as well for the way that France is playing. So they're going to have to mix it up. But to continue in the way of basically trying to get the ball back as soon as possible in advanced areas where you've got shorter distance to goal. That's the key for France, and what they did really well in that first half.
Yeah, physically it's going to play a part. Heavy pitch, second half. What's Deschamps' message at the break?
Well, look, I think he'd be delighted with that performance. I think the key that he would have spoke to the players is all about continue where we left off. What more would you want from your team? Nothing. Continue.
The Tricolour out in force at the Stade de France. A capacity crowd. There's the goal scorer, Benzema. Ribéry set up the first goal. Let's go back to our commentator with France holding a 2-0 lead over Ukraine. It's back to Ian Holliman in Paris.
To try and see their side through to the World Cup finals in Brazil next summer. Of course, 3 other European playoffs going on right now. Looks like good news if you're a fan of Greece and Portugal and Croatia. But this one here finally balanced as we get underway in the second half. No changes for either side. So as you were from the first 45 minutes. Ukraine, though, will be hoping that it's a very different outcome. Did look at times to have managed to just tame France. In fact, just before France scored their opening goal through Mamadou Sakho, looked like Ukraine might just perhaps seize the initiative. Instead, it was wrestled back by the Liverpool defender. Karim Benzema then scoring just after the half hour. Now here's Yarmolenko. He has the ability to turn things round, but not if he tries that too often. Valbuena. Ribéry. He's away from Ukraine defence, but not from Kasharidi. Now Kasharidi was booked just before half-time, and he's going to get sent off here. Mr. Skamina's reaching for a yellow card. It's the second for the big Dynamo Kiev defender, and Ukraine will play virtually the whole of the second half with just 10 men. Edmar can't believe it, but Kasharidi knew he was in trouble straight away. How much contact was there, though, with Franck Ribéry? Seems to be injured, and to be fair to Franck Ribéry, he's not the sort of player who indulges in simulation. Well, he's really struggling, actually. Having to be helped off by 2 members of the French medical staff. He was got away from the initial challenge Oh, you see, he did catch the left ankle, no doubt about it. It was a rather wild lunge for a man who was already on a booking, and rather needless too for the centre-back to make that challenge way out there. So Valbuena plays the ball in. Piatov with the clearance, and Ribéry still receiving treatment. Looks like he's going to come back on as Ukraine bursts forward. Their task just got all that harder. That's well done by Matuidi. Sort of play that Paris Saint-Germain fans are used to seeing, and Valbuena is offside. Kasharidi can at least celebrate something. His dad is of Greek origin, and Greece look as though they're going to overcome Romania and reach the World Cup finals. Sure, that's of scant consolation, particularly if Ukraine don't manage to emulate them. Here's Zazulya. Oh, he almost got that through. That's a great strike. Just dropped for Bezus, who smashed the ball through a crowd. And that wasn't far away. Little warning shot across the bows for Didier Deschamps and his men. Remember, it's 2-2 on aggregate, but Ukraine now down to 10 men. Here's Saka. Evra. A lot of talk that Evra perhaps should be left out of the France squad after a rather controversial interview in which he criticised a number of media pundits last month, including Vicente Lizarazu and the former French international Luis Fernandez. Wasn't sanctioned, though, by the French FA, Patrice Evra. Didier Deschamps firmly backing the man who he brought into the limelight at Monaco. Here's Varane now. Kabay up to Pogba, moves it on nicely to Valbuena. Gets it back from Debuchy. Can't keep his footing once again, Mathieu Valbuena. Debuchy hooks it forward in, almost as a very good through ball. Put the flags up on the far side once again, Benzema. Don't think I expected that from Debuchy, or at least not to be quite so good a pass. That's Pogba's ball out to Ribéry. Good ball through. It was Matuidi bursting forward. And he got the last touch, says Mr. Scamina. He was right as well. Off the shin rather than the boot of the Paris Saint-Germain midfielder. Difficult one for Laurent Koscielny to go through up in the stands. Matuidi noticeably pushing forward at every opportunity. There's Debuchy. Pogba. Space in the middle of the pitch for Ribéry to come forward. Might have a strike as well. Franck Ribéry. Still going. Valbuena. Good header away by Mandzukic. And that's going to be a free kick to Ukraine. Already missed out in 4 playoffs have Ukraine. 3 of them 4 World Cups as well. Lost out last time ahead of South Africa against Greece. See some members of the French national team, the women's French national team. The crowd to support their male counterparts this evening. Here comes Pogba. That's a good ball. Ribéry. France with their tails up. Benzema on the far side. The flight of the cross gave Ševčík enough time to come back and head behind for a corner. Deep one from Valbuena towards Varane, who wins it. Valbuena again. Cabaye. I think he was going for goal. Not held by the pitch, as you can see. Gone in the second half. France lead 2-0. Still deadlocked 2-2 on aggregate with Ukraine. We're down to 10 men. Yevgen Kesheridi, Dynamo Kiev defender, sent off for a second bookable offence in the opening minute of the second half. Well, they really still just need a goal, Ukraine. Turn things on its head once again. Pretty much in their favour. Turns ball in, it's away by Saka. Valbuena was fouled by Ševčík. Here's Cabaye. Trying to find Benzema. Looks like Wotan, the captain, has slipped back into central defence alongside Rakitsky, so highly makeshift back pairing for Ukraine. Although Rakitsky has played centre-back before, but he's normally a full-back. Here's Wotan. Let's just head on towards Zazuli, who's had much less influence than he did in the first half, the first leg, excuse me, that's for sure. And Edmar now involved in a little bit of silliness with Pogba. Excuse me, it's Matuidi who's down, in fact. Looks like he's starting to make that right back position his own in the French national side, Mathieu Debuchy. Bakary Sagna coming to the end of perhaps his international career. Debuchy really settling into life in the English Premier League as well, with that huge contingent of French players at Newcastle United. He's been impressive in recent games for France. He's got a chase on here. Very quick Konoplyanka, and comes out on top as well. Rather needless foul from Konoplyanka, who looked to have the run of Debuchy there. Talked about Ukraine missing out in 4 playoffs already. To be fair to them, they missed out in 1998 to Croatia, who had an excellent side. You may remember it actually reached the semi-finals here. Beaten by France as Barbonic comes forward, finds Ribéry in space. Plenty of space here for Benzema. Glorious opportunity spurned. The Ukraine defence pulled all over the place. Benzema should have at least forced Pyatov into a save. The reaction of Hugo Lloris and Didier Deschamps tell their own story. Oh, he was caught there, Ribéry, and he's not happy. Real cry of pain. It's going to be a free kick, but nothing more. Mr. Scamina was going to have a quick word with the number 16, Vitaly Mandzyuk. They get caught right on the Achilles to front Ribéry. Here's Varane now. Debuchy. Easy for Pyatov. France with a numerical advantage, at least in terms of men on the pitch, if not on the scoreboard. Oh, that's nicely done by Pogba. Just get the impression though that France are trying to force things now. Now they know that they should score again, given that they have the extra man. And the pitch just a little too hasty. It's Cabaye. Evra. Ribéry. Benzema. Evra now. He's for Valbuena. Measured ball towards Benzema. And still just touched away from the Real Madrid man. That's a good challenge by Cabaye. Well, not according to Mr. Scamina. Just past the hour mark here at the Stade de France. France 2, Ukraine 0. Well, actually, it was a foul, wasn't it, by Cabaye? It's going to be a free kick. And Pyatov will just take his time. As the cries have come on, the Blues spring out from the French fans once again. Very often criticised, French football fans, for not getting behind the national side. They certainly have this evening. Pogba's ball to Benzema. Good challenge by Edmar, but he flags up anyway on the far side. But really good tracking back from the medalist Kharkiv midfielder. First came over to Europe from Internacional and joined Tavria Simferopol, one of the less-known Ukrainian clubs. Spent 6 years there. Became their first ever foreign captain. Tells you something about his ability to adapt to life in Europe. And his stature within that dressing room. Now at Kharkiv, though, a host of Brazilians and Argentinians there. Edmar, though, naturalised Ukrainian. Here's Evra. Could have played for Senegal, born in Dakar. Ribéry. Oh, didn't read the run of Evra. Or perhaps It was Evra. He didn't read what Ribéry intended to do. Good battling by Saka. That's what he's good at, and it's quite a promising partnership between him and Raphael Varane. Perhaps they haven't been really tested this evening, but it's a good combination there. Varane much more finesse than Saka, who's all about raw power. Kabay spotting the run at Debussy. Good header by Ševčík, who spent so long as the backup to Razvan Rat at Shakhtar Donetsk. And here comes Matuidi for France. Ribéry. Matuidi couldn't get the ball out from under his feet. Under pressure from two Ukrainians. Edmar again. Working well. Zozulya. They're going to make a change, but they're going to have to wait for the moment. Evra. Oleg Gusev, the vastly experienced midfielder, is going to come on. Evra. Oh, it's beautifully done. Ribéry! And he fires over to it. Just like Karim Benzema a couple of minutes ago. And now Ukraine can make the change. Roman Bezus will be the man to make way. And Oleg Gusev, the 30-year-old Dynamo Kiev man, can play full-back, but will undoubtedly play in his more habitual midfield role today. Comes on for his 89th cap. Featured in all of his side's competitive games en route to Brazil so far. Is this where the road ends, though, for Ukraine? Or will it be France's ambitions that come to a juddering halt here at the home of their greatest triumph? Konoplyanka wants a free kick. He's not going to get one from Mr. Skamini. He hasn't got a lot out of Mathieu Debussy either. Here's Valbuena. Kabay. Saka. On to Ribéry. Here's Evra. This is promising from France. And once more, Edmar with the industry rather than the inspiration that you normally associate with Brazilians. Ukraine are really struggling to get Yarmolenko and Konoplyanka into the game. Zozulya has been horribly isolated. Here's Pogba, who's had an excellent game for France. Good ball as well. Valbuena shows great technique. Makes space for the cross. Oh, what a strike from Debussy. Well, he's done that in a couple of recent internationals. Scored a beautiful half volley against Australia. Then only a very good save denied him a great volleyed goal against Finland a couple of days later. Caught that one reasonably well. Not afraid to have a go, though. Full of confidence, Mathieu Debussy. Saint Commissaire de France this evening. Very different to the attitude that they showed in Kiev only on Friday. Remember, they did beat Ukraine at Euro 2012. 3-0 victory. The scoreline here tonight as Evra swings that one in. Comfortable save for Pyatov this time. And a great save from Valbuena in the first half. Yarmolenko's gone down with a real cry. of pain, and there's going to be a card here for Evra too. Seemed to me a rather untidy rather than vicious challenge from the Manchester United man. I think it was actually an accidental collision. Patrice Evra to calm down. Evra, who drew criticism, rather surprisingly, for raising his voice at half-time when France were 2-1 down in Belarus, needing a win to have any hope of finishing top of the group ahead of Spain. Sparked a brilliant second-half revival, eventually running out 4-2 winners. Still not enough, though, to pick Spain to top spot in the group. The 1-0 victory that the reigning world and European champions secured here in the Stade de France. Enough to take them through automatically to Brazil, where they'll be among the favourites once again. Though you have to say, the host nation, Germany perhaps as well, real pretenders to the crown. And there's a booking now for Debuchy for that challenge on Konoplyanka. Yellow cards being thrown around now. Sanko on a booking as well from the first half. Already seen one red card. So 2 red cards in the first leg. Koscielny for France and Kucha for Ukraine. Sharidi's been sent for an early bath already this evening. May see someone else join him. Delivery and a good header away too by Varane. And a foul as well by Kavai. And this free kick in a much better position for Ukraine. Konoplyanka brought down. And now just a little bit of tension around the stadium. Feel a little bit of tension too in the French ranks as Konoplyanka prepares to take this free kick. Just about level with the right-hand side of Hugo Lloris's penalty box. Drills it goalwards. It's off a French head. Not fully away though. Helped on by Yarmolenko. Varane's header. It's going to drop here invitingly. And Lloris seizes the ball. Not quite sure why the whistle went. Real panic there, though. Didn't catch it at all well, Rakitsky. Could have been an old goal. Nearly dropped for Zazoulia. And it rebounded off Saka. Lloris, though, the saviour. Hasn't had a lot to do, the French captain, this evening. Here's Ribéry. Cabaye goes for goal. Turned aside by Piatov. Scored a fine goal against Ukraine at Euro 2012, did Yohan Cabaye. Well, not quite with enough venom to trouble Piatov from that sort of distance. But they've got a corner. Taken short to Ribéry. Here's Valbuena. Everybody in a front shirt had run in towards the goal, and when Valbuena pulled that back, it's still with the hosts up. Sanko's header. Oh, good strike! Valbuena slip. Pogba. Ribéry. And it's in! And it's Sanko again! The centre-back with 2 goals. And France lead and are currently heading to Brazil. Once again, the Ukrainian defence just couldn't get the ball away. And once more, Mamadou Sakho in exactly the right place at just the right time for France. It's a great hit by Evra, good stop by Pyatov. Ribéry's shot was miscued. Somehow went through Gusev, tried to flick it away, and it just struck Sakho. France will not care about how the ball went into the net. They just care that it did. And the stadium absolutely jumping now. France 3, Ukraine 0. 3-2, France lead in aggregate. Ukraine down to 10 men. And here comes Evra for France. Behind Ribéry, Valbuena. Mandzukic clears only as far as Matuidi. Benzema's header. Not a good one. Here's Konoplyanka. Might have a run at Debuchy. Rather ran into the French right back. And gets no sympathy from Mr. Skamina. Rather does indeed get a free kick. Given a throw in that. Here's Konoplyanka once again. Remember though, it still only takes a goal for Ukraine. They would then lead on away goals. We're going to see Yevgen Seleznov finish the Ukrainian League's top scorer a couple of times in his career. He's going to come on. Play continues though for the moment as that was aimed towards Matuidi, but skims off the turf to Pyatov. 16 minutes left. France 3, Ukraine 0. France lead 3-2 on aggregate. They, for the moment, on the side heading through to Brazil. There's Matuidi. It's away from the challenge of Rotan. Another for France would surely kill it. Valbuena. Ribéry's got space. Not too many blue shirts to aim at, though. Oh, it's going to drop for Cabaye. Benzema now. Debuchy. Benzema. The French fans enjoy themselves with another rendition of the Marseillaise. Play continues. Cabaye's down. Deschamps remonstrates with the fourth official. He thinks he should have had a free kick there. Bakary Sagna looks like he's going to make an appearance as well. That's an interesting one from Deschamps. Is Varane. Valbuena surely fouled by Ševčík. And now we are going to see those changes. Zozulia is going to make way for Yevgen Seleznov. Seleznov, who's at Dnipro. After a quick return to Shakhtar, where he actually started his career. Sagna waits to come on as well. Let's see who he'll replace. It's not immediately evident, I have to say. It's Cabaye. Matuidi. Evra. Ribéry. France quite happy now to keep possession. as you might expect. Here's Pogba. That's a good ball for Debuchy. Managed to get it across. And once more, Ukraine just don't get it away. It was Mandzukic who missed the clearance this time. Fortunately for him, it fell to a teammate. Oh, here comes Sagna. There's Debuchy, who's going to make way. Just wonder whether the Newcastle United man has a little knock. Not sure. He's on a booking. A great ovation for Mathieu Debuchy. A like-for-like change then. And on comes the Arsenal fullback, Bacary Sagna. One in a long list of alumni from Auxerre club. Turned from a boys' club into League One champions by Giroud. Now, sadly, over in the doldrums in the second division. Another foul by Ševčík on Valbuena. We don't give up on anything, says the banner. They certainly haven't this evening. That place in Brazil, it's tantalizingly close, but yet their hold on that ticket is still fragile. Well won back by Matuidi. Here's Pogba. Cabaye. He's going to find Ribéry. Evra. Ribéry now. Pogba to Cabaye. France just reining in their attacking instinct. Challenged by Gusev. Give France a throw. They'll be in no hurry to take it as you see Rio Mavuba and Olivier Giroud warming up. Certainly do need to warm up on a very chilly night in France. Here's Konoplyanka. Been seen far too often in that sort of position for Ukraine and their liking this evening. Here come the visitors. Konoplyanka on the far side. Ševčík. He's going to break for Ukraine though. The strike by Rotan was charged down and Pogba comes away. Ribéry. 4-on-4 for the moment. Benzema. Still counting Benzema. Franck Ribéry. He can finish it here. Except he can't. Ball was falling away, Franck Ribéry. Couldn't get the strike on target. Sidestepped the first and second challenge nicely, but was always off balance. And a bad bobble too. Oh, he slammed the pitch. Not so much in frustration at his own inability to hit the net. Rather the real bobble that the ball took before he struck it. This is a problem with these multi-purpose venues. Looks like we're going to have another change. Olivier Giroud is going to come on for Karim Benzema. Just give France some fresh legs and the ability just to play the ball up to the Arsenal striker who'll hold on to it. Give France an outlet to relieve any pressure pressure that Ukraine can apply in these closing 10 minutes or so here. They're going to be very, very nervous 10 minutes with both sides. Giroud's on. Clip forward. It's off a French head, I think, for a corner. Indeed it is. Anxious whistles and boos from the French fans. Taken short. It's away at the near post by Cabaye. Foot forward again. Sagna's header. Dropped nicely here. And he's crowded out. Here's Rakitsky. Ukraine disappointed that ball didn't fall to a more attack-minded individual. A little bit of space there for the Shakhtar defender. Quickly closed down. Here's Evra. Tweedy. Back to Sacco. 2 goals for him. Well, reminiscent of the brace which Lilian Thuram struck against Croatia in the semi-finals in the 1998 World Cup. In this very stadium. Similar sort of build. Sacco, although Thuram played most of his career at right back, he did want to be the centre back. Did eventually play there for France. It's a good ball out to Ribéry. Taking on Gusev. It's the better of Ribéry this time. Here's Yarmolenko. France won't mind him having the ball back there. Cleverly done by Pogba. Ribéry once more. Pogba now. Here's Pogba. Sacco. Varane. 5 minutes left at the Stade de France. France lead and are heading to Brazil as things stand. Ukraine down to 10 men as they have been for virtually all of the second half. Following Yevgen Kesharides sending off. But they do look slightly resigned to their fate. Heads are down from the men in the yellow and blue. Tails very much up for those in all blue. And maybe more work here for Andrei Pyatov in the Ukraine goal. Barbana with the free kick. It has been all night. Towards Giroud! Oh, super stop. It would have been all over for Ukraine. It's still not away. Ribéry. In fact, it's out for a corner. Oh, Olivier Giroud must have thought that he'd signed, sealed and delivered World Cup qualification there, but that's a great save from Pyatov. Got across his goal very quickly indeed. Had a couple of really top draw saves, the Shakhtar Donetsk goalkeeper this evening. Up on his corner. Oh, and Giroud winning the header at the near post. But it remains 3-0. Here come Ukraine. 4 minutes to go. Just launches up the field. France will be happy for this to be an untidy and scrappy final few minutes. Ukraine have never really managed to muster much of an attacking threat all evening. And how they will think back to that shot from Yarmolenko, which looked like it was going to squeeze through just before the break. change the whole complexion of the evening and the outcome. Indeed, as things stand, it still see Ukraine through. Oh, handball by Valbuena. This free kick is enticingly placed for Ukraine. Virtually everybody in the yellow shirt packing into the French box. They have nothing to lose now. And everything to gain. And it comes. It's going to be easy for Lloris. Massive cry from the crowd of jubilation as the French captain seized that ball. Mandzukich's ball forward. Selesnov does well. Here he is again. Gusev on for Yarmolenko, and it's France's turn this time to harry and chase. Just as Ukraine did in the first leg. Yarmolenko looks like he's going to walk that one to the corner flag. Sako's ball forward up towards Giroud. Oh, Valbuena fouled. That's going to be a yellow card for Rakitsky. Valbuena's managed to recover. Mandzukic hasn't. As Rakitsky's making the point to Mr. Skamina, it was he who made the challenge, as you can see there, and the problem for Mandzukic was Valbuena falling into him. It looks like it's Mandzukic who's been booked, but undoubtedly a case of mistaken identity. Sako plays it forward towards Giroud. Valbuena wins it. Evra. We're into the final minute now. Valbuena. Still Valbuena. He claims it took a deflection, and Mr. Skamina agrees. Now all eyes on the fourth official. How many minutes are going to be added on here at the end of the 90? I suspect at least 2, maybe even 3. It is indeed 3. Greeted by boos from the French fans. France will just keep the ball in the corner here as long as possible. It's a goal kick. Didn't keep it there for very long, did Franck Ribéry. Everybody in a blue shirt sprints back into position. Piatov hurriedly clears on as far as Giroud. He might have done better there, he had space. Time to bring that down. Here's Ribéry. Giroud making his way into the middle. Ribéry still. Valbuena. Trying to just trick his way through Mathieu Valbuena. And Ukraine disjointed and dispirited. France know that victory and a place in Brazil is within their reach now. The fans know it too. The flags are out. It's Giroud. Ribéry is fouled. The French squad can barely contain themselves. They're ready to burst onto the field. And the final whistle sounds in just over a minute's time. Here's Ribery again. Trying to hold off Yarmolenko and Gusev. Ukrainian double team works, but Yarmolenko's ball forward is aimless. Nobody up there in a yellow shirt. Sako will just play the ball back to Lloris. Offside. It's not the full-time whistle. Wait another 30 seconds or so. Pyatov launches it forward. It's the time for more drama. Oh, that's a good strike. Straight into the arms of Hugo Lloris. It was Yaroslav Rakitsky. What a story that would have been. But there must have been a few hearts in mouths there down on the French bench. Instead, they can celebrate a famous victory. France will go to the World Cup finals in Brazil. Delight for Les Bleus. Bitter, bitter disappointment for Ukraine, who miss out in the playoffs for a 5th time. All seemed lost, though, on Friday evening. The 2-0 defeat in Kiev. But it's all smiles on the face now of Didier Deschamps.
Well, the first time in history a 2-0 deficit has been overcome in European World Cup qualifying. So France create history. They beat a wave of negativity leading up to this match, but all the positives from buoyant to home